So if proven true, Aaron Hernandez was a murderer playing in the NFL. What's your reaction to that?
You don't really know. You think you know somebody, but you really don't. That's the biggest thing that comes out for me. Listen, guys in the locker room come from all different backgrounds. Guys from, hard upbringings, guys from, other type of upbringings. But to hear something like this, where a guy can go out here and, allegedly kill two people, sign a contract extension, and go out and play the whole 2012 season.
And play extremely well on top of that.
It's hard to really wrap your mind around that.
Sure. And it's, I apply it to corporate America. In corporate America, you don't know who you're sitting next to all the time. And the locker room is no different. I mean, when you're in the locker room, it's one thing. You're preparing for a game, you're in meeting rooms, you go out to practice, you have walkthroughs and whatnot, work out together. But once you leave the facility, then it's on you. I mean, there's certain guys that have cliques, and there's other guys that aren't involved in those cliques, and those guys that aren't involved, you don't know what they do, and it's no different than being in corporate America, working that way, and guys work from 9 to 5, and when you leave work, people are off on their own.
You have to go through and use some unconventional methods to really, what I like to call, get at the authentic individual, because guys are very much so coached up now on telling you the right things and kind of throwing you off track and trying to hide themselves. Yeah, there was.
Everyone knew what was going on with him at Florida, and yet they took him anyway. So that's a risk a team has to take.
Sure it is, and you're balancing that all the time, Chris. No question about that. But there's no way that you could have foreseen it escalating to this. Now, there's always... I mean, and that's the risk that you kind of. That's the risk.
How many guys? There's plenty of guys that come to the league with a ton of baggage, probably similar to what Aaron Hernandez came in. But you can't really. How many guys can really foresee something like this happening? It's just something you just don't see.
I want to get back to something you said. You said a lot of guys come into the league from rough backgrounds. Why can't so many leave those backgrounds in the background? Why is it so hard for many players, even new life, new fortune? Look at him, a beautiful new home, lovely young family. Why couldn't he leave his past in the past? Why is that so hard for players?
Because a lot of it has to do with just upbringing. You associate yourself with certain people back home, and those people, they were loyal to you when you didn't have anything. Right. I think that's the biggest thing. Just because you acquire wealth and certain perks that come with playing professional ball, in a certain person's mind, those people that were with me back in the day, those are the people that's in my circle because they've been there from the beginning. And I think that's why guys struggle.
Some places, some organizations understand that players, when they come into the National Football League, we like to use the vernacular that they're grown men. And they want to be treated like grown men. These guys are still kids. I was a kid. I was 21, 22 years old. I didn't know anything. I thought I did, but I didn't know anything. Some teams are very much so proactive in trying to develop those relationships, that trust. So players know that not only do we care about you as an asset to our organization, but we care about you as a person.
How hard do teams work to keep a player maybe away from bad influences?
Hey, it's case by case. Again, if you listen to what's coming out of Seattle, you listen to what's coming out of Jacksonville, they have special things going on there. They take a very proactive approach towards getting to know players personally, letting them in on, hey, if I'm a coach, look, I have some baggage too in my life. I'm not any better than you. Yes, I'm your superior, and you're kind of like, you work for us, but I'm a human being too, and players need that. Players want trust. If you feel like a guy cares about you as a person, you'll start thinking about those decisions that you make off the field a little bit more. It's a very important part, I think, of the player development process, and I think more teams need to start paying attention to that.